Hello. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this webinar organized by WeUni in partnership with the University of Essex Online. My name is Carolina. Nice to meet you all, and I'll be your host for today's event on behalf of WeUni. So I see here that the first people are already starting to join in. We'll just wait a couple of minutes just to give students time to connect and also to keep everything aligned to begin. In the meantime, if you want, you can tell us in the chat where you're from, since we are very curious to know. Also, first of all, I want to thank everyone for joining us and thank our panelists for being here with us today. Since, as you can see here, I'm not alone. I want to introduce you all to Sami Kaglayan, Marketing Executive, and Caitlin McKeever for the student support, Matthew Page for study skills, and Josie Burns for the admissions. Welcome. It's a real pleasure to have you here. Today, you are going to explore how Essex Online provides comprehensive guidance from study skills to well-being and admissions. Because, studying online opens new opportunities, of course, but it often raises important questions, such as how can time be managed effectively, or where to find help if challenges arise, or what is the best way to apply? So this webinar will give you all the answers you need. At Essex Online, support is more than a service, it's a core value. So from day one, you will join a community dedicated to helping you succeed. Also, you will have the possibility to interact with our speakers and ask them questions. So talking about that, I'd like to remind you that after the presentation, we will have a Q&A session in which you'll be able to ask direct questions to the panelists. So don't be shy and just type all of the questions in the Q&A section here on Zoom, and we'll go through them at the end of the webinar. Also, another important information for those of you interested in receiving a certificate of attendance by WeUni, stay tuned because we will post the link to get the certificate at the end of this session. Okay, I see also some people writing in the chat from Slovakia, from Guatemala. Welcome to all of you. It's a pleasure to have you here. Today we are here with Essex Online. I think we can begin now. And without further ado, I can now leave the floor to Sami for the presentation and to the other panelists. So enjoy the webinar and see you later.
Thank you very much, Carolina. So hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Sami Charlian, and I'm a marketing executive here at Essex Online. I'm just going to quickly introduce to you the speakers and today's agenda, and then we will begin as well. So joining us today are Kathleen McKeever, who's a student support advisor, Matthew Page, a study skills advisor, and also Josie Burns, who is an admissions advisor. So onto the agenda for today, I'm going to kick things off shortly by introducing to you the University of Essex Online, and then we'll be taking a look at the ways in which you'll be supported during your studies at Essex Online, as well as a walk through the admissions and enrolment process. We have a Q&A session at the end, as Carolina pointed out, so do feel free to drop in any of your burning questions throughout the session, and then we'll pick these up at the end. So first of all, why should you study with us? So you begin a recognised qualification from a university that is ranked 12th in the United Kingdom. So we're right up there in terms of the top ranked universities. There's a large emphasis on the classroom experience with experienced academics who bring real world perspectives such as working environments. We have a number of programs that focus on employability, where our focus is equipping students with sector specific skills, as well as optional modules as well that allow you to tailor the course to your own specialism. We're also delighted to mention that the University of Essex Online has been rated gold in the Times Higher Education Online Learning Rankings Award for 2024, which furthermore reflects the university's excellence in delivering higher online education. Furthermore, we're also rated silver in the Teaching Excellence Framework. So we aim to offer an interactive learning platform that is available to students on a 24/7 basis from anywhere in the world. We have a cohort of tutors who ensure they are quick to respond to student emails and inquiries. There's also opportunities here for one-to-one sessions with tutors and live Q&A sessions and seminars to help make your studying experience more interactive. All our programs are 100% online and part-time to fit around your lifestyle. So there's no in-person attendance required at all. However, you can attend graduation once you've completed your studies at the magnificent University of Essex Colchester campus. So I'll now pass over to Kathleen, who's going to take us through the fantastic student support offered here at Essex Online. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kathleen, and I work within the Student Support Services as a student support advisor. So I'm just going to give a brief overview of the different types of support that we give to students, which includes that provided by your individual student support team, also disability support, and then the academic support that is provided by tutors. So at the University of Essex Online, all students have access to a team of student support advisors dedicated to their subject area. So that means the support that you receive is specific to your program of study. Now, the student support team advisors may not have necessarily studied the subject area themselves, but we understand the details and the nuances of your specific course and therefore the individual study plans. So you have your module tutors and your academic teams that can provide the specific subject-specific academic support where needed. But the role of the student support team is to provide advice and guidance in all of the non-academic areas. So this is like your study choices, course progression, academic policies and procedures. This might include late submissions or remark requests, possibly individual breaks or extenuating circumstances. So we will advise on the options that you have available to you if you experience any difficulty, either within your studies or your personal life in a way that it affects your studies. And we keep in regular contact throughout your entire study progression, basically just to ensure that you're on track and that students are progressing without issue. We usually serve as your first point of contact. If we can't assist directly, then we'll signpost you to the appropriate department or resource. Our One of our roles is to also welcome new students after you are admitted and help students prepare for the start of the course. We send out an invitation to book a welcome call with our team. We offer a live meet the team welcome session where you can meet who the advisors are on the student support team and also ask questions about the start of your course. We will also provide regular check-ins with the new intake of students just to make sure that you are getting off to a good start and feeling comfortable and ready to engage with your studies. So our welcome calls that I mentioned, these take place during your induction period, so the first couple weeks that you are on the course. But we're available to arrange for a call, a phone call, or a Zoom call at any time. We're also available via email, and we do have a live chat service as well. So the support that we provide during the induction, so after you are first enrolled, this is really important because it, again, like I said, gets you started on the right path. So even though we're more hands-on in those first couple weeks, we still have support that continues all the way throughout your studies. So we're available Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5. This is UK time, of course, excluding bank holidays and weekends. Usually we have an advisor available from 8:30 to 7, Monday through Thursday as well. And we try to stick to a 24-hour response time during the week and a 48-hour response time during the weekend. So there's plenty of opportunities for students to get in touch with us, no matter where you're located. And we try to account for those different time differences. And then also, we try to be very flexible for you and your own personal responsibilities and commitments. So if you do prefer to speak with an advisor directly, We also have a call booking system. This way you can ensure that an advisor from your specific team is available at a time that is convenient to you. And then it also gives us, the advisors, an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with your situation beforehand. So then we can make for the most efficient use of your time. And the next slide, please. So another area of student support is the disability support team. So the disability team offers support and guidance to students who may have different needs arising from their disability. So they can assist students with a disability, a learning difficulty, a mental health condition, a long-term medical condition, or anything that may fall in those categories. So we have a dedicated disability support officer, and they will work together with you to discuss measures that could be implemented to support your studies. And if you believe that this additional support would be useful, then we encourage you to inform your admissions advisor during the admissions process. This way, disability support can begin working with you straight away to develop a reasonable adjustment plan that would be used and utilized throughout your studies. You can apply, of course, for a reasonable adjustment plan at any time along your course or arrange for a time to speak with our disability support officer. And should your situation ever change, you can always request that your plan be reviewed at any time as well. And the next slide. So the academic support. Now, the area of academic support that I'm speaking about here is the support that's offered to students via your tutors. So whilst your student support team will assist with the non-academic types of queries that I mentioned earlier, your tutor is there for any queries that are content related, including assignment clarifications or other academic guidance for the modules. They also have 24 to 48 response times to queries. And whilst email is the preferred form of communication, your tutors will also be available to arrange for a one-to-one appointment by request. So you also have opportunities to interact with your tutor and your peers via biweekly seminars. And with these seminars, you're always encouraged to attend and participate. But if the schedule maybe doesn't work for you, all seminars will be recorded and available within the module. And if you aren't able to attend live and find that you do have questions after reviewing the seminar, again, you can always reach out to your tutor for those clarifications. And again, you can always arrange for a one-on-one appointment. And finally, your tutors are very involved with your study. They will provide detailed feedback to your assignments. This will be within 7 days of the assignment deadline. If you ever have any questions or concerns about the feedback, again, you're encouraged to reach out to your tutor in the first instance. However, if you find that there are some academic skills, some study skills that you're having difficulty with, or that you're hoping to improve, we have our dedicated study skills team to assist you. So I will now pass it over to my colleague Matthew to tell you more about the student support provided by the study skills team.
Thank you, Kathleen. Yeah, so I'm Matthew. I'm one of the study skills advisors here at the University of Essex Online, and I'm going to talk a bit about our role during your studies and the type of things that we can help you with. So Kathleen has touched on it a bit already. We're kind of here to help you with all of the formal skills that you'll need to succeed in higher education. So that could be writing skills, it could be critical thinking skills, it could be perhaps managing your time and organizing, it could be note taking, it could be having a search strategy and research skills. It could be your academic English, perhaps if English is not a native language for you, and that might be something that you want support with. So that's a few of the skills that we can help you with, but we do also a lot more than that, and there's different ways of interacting with us. We can help you in a one-to-one environment. So that could be a Zoom call session with ourselves on a particular topic. It could be interacting with us via email. But then maybe we then do other things like having a study skills week where we have lots of different live sessions that talk about academic writing or critical thinking, time management, and so forth. There's a few different ways of interacting with us. There's those live sessions that you can join where groups of students join. You can have the one-to-one session. You can contact us via email. But then we also have the Study Skills Hub, which is um, the study skills area of the University of Essex online site, where there's lots of different lecture casts and resources to support you with all those skills. Um, Other than supporting students with those skills, we do some other quite specific things that have been very kind of briefly mentioned, but it's worth exploring those in terms of how we affect those processes. So resubmission, for instance, perhaps you do a piece of work, you fail that component, you have the opportunity to resubmit that piece of work. We can help you negotiate that process. Look at your original, look at your draft of piece of work and give you some feedback on that. Perhaps you might commit an academic offence. We can help you with that. So if you plagiarize, you have a high Turnitin similarity score, we can help you kind of negotiate that, give you some positive academic referencing skills. That means you're not going to kind of fall into that situation again. And we support students at different levels. So from a Cert HE or undergraduate level up until doing a kind of master's postgraduate level. So we support a diverse array of students with different needs at different levels, with kind of a multiplicity of skills, and there's no kind of limit on the amount of interaction that you can have with the study skills team. And at various points, perhaps you might go through challenges, whether it's resubmission, an academic offence, and so forth, and we can help you navigate that process. So yeah, you move on to the next slide. I think that's just going to underline some of the things that I've said already. Yeah, so I think one of the things that might stand out and on this particular slide is the refresher session, which has been it's a type of one-to-one session which is available as soon as you join the course and start the course. And it's really made for people who might be new to higher education, or they might be new to education in general. Perhaps you got onto the course through more experience as opposed to the academic route, or perhaps you've had a really long break from education and just that idea of writing an assignment, doing academic work feels quite unfamiliar. It's a muscle that you've not kind of used for quite a long time. And the refresher session is really for those people. It's about giving you a good, strong foundation in those basic skills that you kind of want in place before you perhaps develop the more complex skills and that you're going to expand on as you progress through your studies. So that's a key thing. If you kind of join us and at the start of your studies and giving you a healthy foundation to move forward. And yeah, so our support is proactive in the sense that there's things like Study Skills Week, Dissertation Week. So that's sessions for people doing dissertations. You can book a one-to-one, feedback reviews. So when you get feedback on an assignment, perhaps that feedback will be, great, but some of it might be challenging, disappointing, points for improvement. We can look at that feedback with you and help you strategize a way forward based on that feedback. So there's proactive support, but there's also that reactive support. You resubmit an assignment, you commit an academic offence, we can help you respond to that in a positive way and move forward, get a better grade, not fall into resubmission again, and hopefully not commit an academic offence. So that's a kind of whistle-stop tour of the study skills team, the ways that we can help you, and kind of our remit. So yeah, I'll pass on to Josie, I believe now.
Thank you, Matthew. I'm Josie. I'm an admissions advisor here with the University of Essex Online. So admissions is with you right from your first point of contact with the university up until the day you start your course, and then a little bit of overlap there with student support. So we'll both be on hand to help you in the first few weeks of your course. So when you first inquire with about a course or university, you'll be assigned an admissions advisor. We'll be in contact with you to answer any questions you might have prior to submitting your application, and we'll also be there to help you along with your application process if you might need it. When you submit your application will go directly to the admissions advisor that you've already been speaking to. So there's that nice bit of continuity there. We can build a good rapport with you. So you feel like you know your admissions advisor when we're helping you with this process. We'll be in touch then with any documents that we might need or the next steps of your application. Once we have all your documents for your application, we aim to have an outcome for you within 48 hours. So we have a relatively quick turnaround in terms of assessing applications. And then we'll be sending your offer letter to you so you can kind of get the ball rolling with enrolling onto your course. Next slide, please. So we have a few different entry routes for the undergraduate courses. For the full degrees, we require 3 A levels or equivalent, or 2 for the business degrees. We also have a work experience route, which is 3 years relevant work experience and GCSE Maths and English or an equivalent qualification there. If you're unsure on what's equivalent to your A levels, then you can speak to your admissions advisor, because we'll be checking equivalency anyway when you apply. If English isn't your first language, then we will provide you with a free online English proficiency test. This takes about 1 to 2 hours to complete, and you do it just in your own time. You can take as long as you want to do it, and the minimum kind of score required is equivalent to an IELTS 6.0 overall score. So you don't need to worry about doing an external test such as IELTS. We can provide you with an English proficiency test if English isn't your first language and if you haven't studied at higher education in English before. We do also offer an open entry route, which is the Cert HE, a Certificate of Higher Education. So this is a level 4 qualification that you don't need A levels for or any work experience for. It's 16 months in duration, and when you complete the Cert HE, you then have the option to progress on to the relevant full degree, and you'd start that at the second year. Next slide, please. In terms of postgraduate entry requirements, we require an undergraduate degree that is equivalent to a UK honours degree. Again, if you're unsure on if your degree is equivalent to a UK honours degree, then we can check that for you. Alternatively, 3 years relevant work experience, and we will judge this from your CV, and we may ask for references as well from your past or present employers. Same again, we can provide you with a free online English test, and for postgraduate study, the minimum requirement is equivalent to an IELTS 6.5, but you don't have to worry about having an IELTS. We can provide you with that English proficiency test again. Next slide, please. In terms of tuition fees, you can see on the screen the tuition fees for the 25-26 academic year. We do offer, you can pay up front if you like, and you'll receive a 5% discount for doing so, but we do offer monthly instalment plans, so you can split your tuition fees into monthly payments for the duration of your course. And next slide. Same for the postgraduate courses. Monthly payment plans are applicable for these as well, so you don't have to worry about paying up front. You can split it into monthly payments for the duration of your course. And next slide. So just a few things about payment discount and scholarships. So if you're residing in the UK, you may be eligible for a student loan. That's for both undergraduate and full master's courses in terms of postgraduate. Our courses are eligible for tuition fee only loans, so you wouldn't get the maintenance loan as it's part-time and online, but they will fund the tuition fees. The 21-day money back guarantee is if you start your course and in the first 3 weeks you decide that it's not for you or you have other time commitments that are more important, then you can withdraw from the course within the first 21 days, and you'll receive a full refund on either your deposit or the full amount, however much you've paid. You can have a full refund within the first 21 days if you decide the course isn't for you. We do offer some scholarships and discounts. We have a 10% alumni discount available. That's if you studied with the University of Essex Online or the campus university. You'd be eligible for the 10% alumni, 5% if you pay up front, and we do offer some regional scholarships as well. So we've got for the October intake, 20% for those residing in African countries, and then some 10% scholarships as well for other regions, such as Asia and South America. And next slide. So these are just the things you need to submit your application if you are ready: a personal statement, an official form of ID that's in date, any educational certificates that you have, and an up-to-date copy of your CV. If we need anything else from you when we've got your application, then we'll be in touch and we'll ask for this. But those are the things that you need to apply to all of our courses. Okay. And here are the start dates. So we have the October intake coming up for undergraduate and postgraduate. So to be in the October intake, you'll need to submit your application within the next 7 days, and we should be able to turn this around for you. And then we've got some in later 2026, January, March, April, May, July, and October again in 2026. Okay, thank you.
I think we are done with the presentation. So first of all, thank you so much for all the information. I think they were really useful for all the students connected. And thinking about that, I see so many questions in the Q&A box here. I would like to remind you that there's still time to make questions. So if you want, you can write in the Q&A box and we will answer, of course. So I think that we can go with the first one that is from Mark. That is asking, could you explain how the online study schedule works? Is there a fixed timetable or can I study at my own pace?
And I can answer that. So there aren't any fixed times that you would need to be attending. There isn't a attendance policy or anything like that. There are the scheduled biweekly seminars that, again, you can attend if you're available. And then, of course, you need to keep in mind assignment deadlines. So those, the assignment deadlines are hard and fast. You may have, depending on your course of study and depending on the module you're taking, you may have a presentation that you would be doing with your tutor or potentially with a group. If you do have a presentation that will be scheduled with you, your tutor will make sure that it's a time that works for your time zone or, your work or family responsibilities.
Thank you so much. The next one is, what are the criteria for the scholarships and discounts you mentioned, and when is the deadline to apply?
I'll take this one. So the scholarships that we have are either regional or they are specific to your course. So they're not something that you need to apply for. They'll be automatically applied onto your payment plan when we send your offer letter. If you have any questions about if you're eligible for a scholarship, then you can contact your admissions advisor. But we'll usually let you know if you're eligible for any of our scholarships. And again, we don't offer any merit-based scholarships, so they're not ones that you need to apply for. For the October intake, the deadline to apply is 1 week today, so the 30th of September at 5 p.m. UK time. And for the January intake, that will be the 30th of December at 5 p.m. for the application deadlines.
Thank you so much. Of course, talking about the deadlines and any, more specific aspects, I would like to remind you that you can click on the link that you can see. You can write the link and click then on the website that you can see in the slide. But also in the next few days, you will receive an email from us with all the contacts of the University of Essex Online. So if you have any other specific questions, if you have any doubts, of course, you can contact them and ask anything that pop up in your mind also later. And also you can rewatch this session since this webinar will be recorded and put on YouTube. So the next question is, how will studying online affect my employability or recognition of the degree in my home country?
So unfortunately, it's really difficult for us to answer that. So we have students who study with us from all over the world, and it's impossible for us to be able to advise on what would work for you in your home country. So we do encourage students to maybe do their own research before embarking on the degree, just to make sure that it is a right fit for you.
Of course, thank you. And the next one is, can you tell us more about the well-being services offered to online students?
So we do not have a counseling service, and we are not professional counselors in that way. However, if you have some situations that are maybe affecting your ability to study, you can always make an appointment with your student support advisor, someone from your student support team, regular check-in, regular well-being appointments in that way. But it's just important to note that we are not professional counselors and cannot advise on specific well-being issues. Just be a listening ear and give recommendations on ways that approaches you can take that would support you in your studies.
Just to add to what Kathleen was saying, within the study skills team, we have a study skills week session on studying mindfully, where we try to kind of impart to students some mindfulness techniques. So a way of studying in a productive way, but in a way which is sort of safeguarding your well-being also. And we're also in the process of turning that live session on studying mindfully into a one-to-one session. So I think some of what we do in the study skills team, particularly around maybe mindfulness and time management, can be helpful as well in safeguarding your kind of well-being along with the student support team during your time here.
Thank you so much. Always a hot topic. And the next one is, if I want to switch my specialization, for example, from general business to business analytics, is that possible during the program?
You will have the opportunity, should you choose to do so, to switch specializations within a program. We call it a transfer, but this is something that you'd want to work with closely with your student support team, because the modules that you've already taken may not have a direct transfer, or there may be new requirements on your new course where you may have to catch up, so to speak, in order to progress. But those are all things that you can discuss with your student support team. But yes, it is possible to do that.
Thank you so much. And are there opportunities for online students to engage in group work, networking, or collaboration with peers?
So in some modules, there will be group work, but not always. However, when you first start your modules, when you first start during your induction period, your welcome period, that's when you'll all be together with your initial cohort, and you'll be able to connect in a student lounge. You'll be able to introduce yourself and kind of learn where other people are studying from around the world. That's usually a way that students make those initial connections. And all of the students in the first cohort will also continue on to their first module together. And so you can also kind of form those individual connections there. We do have student forums where students can also interact in those areas. Um, but that's kind of the general way that students go about connecting. Also in the live seminars, when you're interacting with your peers and your tutors, some students form study groups out of that as well.
Yes, and I think that that can be connected to another one, that is how our classmates group for projects by time zone, by interest, or randomly.
So again, this would be kind of arranged. Your tutor kind of facilitates this. If there is a group project, the tutor would kind of assign groups. They would look at time zones and locations. If you find that your group is maybe not in a kind of a cohesive form, you can always go back to the tutor and see about being assigned to a different group. I really want to maybe stress the flexibility. Things are very flexible. When you're studying online, it's because you need that flexibility usually. And so everyone is aware of that and really wants to make sure that your needs are being met.
Thank you. And another question about the online courses, it is, how do the online lectures work? Are they live, recorded, or a mix of both?
Yeah, it's a mix of both. So at the beginning of your course, when you sign into your module, you'll see the schedule for the live lectures straight away. You'll have the live lecture schedule for the entirety of the course. So if you might need to work with your own schedule, making some adjustments so that you can attend those live lectures, you have that time to do so. If there is a occasion where you can't attend a lecture, then everything will always be recorded. And even if you did attend, but maybe want to go back and review for your own study purposes, you can always go back to those recordings as well.
Thank you. And how about the materials, the textbooks and so on? Are they included in the tuition or must be purchased separately?
Yeah, so all of the learning materials that you need will be available to you online. There isn't an extra cost for your e-textbooks or the use of the library, your library access, which would be your professional journals and other e-resources. So that will all be available to you.
Thank you so much. And how exams are conducted and what kind of exams are they?
So this again is going to vary by your individual course that you're studying, and also the individual module that you're enrolled in. So, for example, the course that I advise for is the law department, the law course, and in our department, there are not any live examinations. You may have like I said before, you may have a group or an individual presentation with your tutor, but that would be the only kind of live situation. Most of your assignments, at least in law, will be essay based or in the form of a discussion forum or a journal type situation, reflective pieces.
Thank you. And we have the last two questions. The first one is about the networking opportunities, if they exist with alumni or industry partners for online students.
As far as I'm aware, we don't have any alumni partners at the moment, but you can chat with existing students on the website to hear their experiences and ask them questions.
Thank you so much. And the last one is about, do you run any foundation program or partner with organization that helps in financial aids?
Unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have any third parties apart from the student loans company in England that we partner with in terms of financial help. We do accept tuition fees paid by employers and sponsors. So if you can arrange that yourself, then we can accept those. But at the moment, we don't have any external help that we're partnered with for financial aid.
Thank you. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Of course, again, you will have the possibility to interact the University of Essex online in the next few days, since you will receive an email with all the email contacts and also all the other contacts of the university. So if you have any other questions, feel free to ask through this channel. And also, if you have missed anything or if you want to watch something, you can do it through YouTube. So you will receive also the link to the YouTube recording in the same email. And for those of you interested in receiving a certificate of attendance for this free masterclass, you can click on the link that I'm sending in the chat right now and request it. Okay, so I would like to thank all our panelists for the really interesting presentation and for the kindness in answering all of the questions that we had today. And of course, I hope to see you again in the next webinar organized by WeUni. I don't know if you want to add anything else, a suggestion for the students or an encouragement to come before we say goodbye, of course.
I would say make sure that you have good communication channels between kind of student support, admissions, and study skills. And studying online has got its challenges, but it's also a great opportunity. And if you do find it challenging, we're here to help and we want you to complete your studies. So yeah, reach out to us and we can help you negotiate that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So again, thanks for being with us today, and I hope to have you a really nice rest of the day and to see you again in the next webinar. Thank you so much. Goodbye.